across live now to Brussels, where our correspondent Dave Keating is standing by. Dave, NATO is meeting again in Brussels on Thursday. Tell us a little bit about what's on the agenda there.
Yeah, this is a meeting of foreign ministers from NATO countries, and one of the big items on the agenda is whether to provide heavy arms to Ukraine. This conversation has been spurred by the news yesterday that the Czech Republic is sending tanks over to Ukraine, becoming the first NATO country to send such heavy arms. And the discussion today and yesterday is about whether NATO should be doing that as a policy. There is, of course, concern, as expressed just there in that soundbite you heard, that doing so could escalate the situation and could lead to a direct war between NATO and Russia. And of course, there is concern that the transport of such heavy arms over to Ukraine could be attacked by Russia within NATO territory on their way over. So that's one big topic today. The other big topic today is the kind of larger geostrategic situation. We have a lot of non-NATO countries participating here, Sweden and Finland, who are maybe about to join NATO. You have Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and Korea there to discuss concerns about China and the threat that China poses. And then you have Ukraine and Georgia there to discuss security concerns, particularly for Ukraine. The Foreign Minister of Ukraine will be asking for more heavy arms.
And Dave, just a little more broadly in terms of what's happening with the EU, its top diplomat, he said just a few minutes ago that a fifth round of sanctions could be imposed on Russia at the latest by tomorrow, Friday. Tell us a little bit more about that. Are we expecting a possible embargo on Russian coal? That's definitely something Ukraine is pushing for.
Yes, I think we'll get that by the end of today, actually. I think he's being cautious there. It was a bit confusing yesterday. The United States put out a statement as if the EU sanctions had already been adopted. They have not, but they are about to be, and a ban on Russian coal will be on that list. That is not a huge amount of money. It's 4 billion euros per year, and it's dwarfed by the amount of oil and gas that's imported into the EU. That amounts to 1 billion euros per day. Now, we also had Josep Borrell saying that it's kind of obscene that since the war started, the EU has sent Russia 35 billion euros in order to pay for gas and oil, while it's only sent Ukraine 1 billion euros in arms. The problem is Germany, Austria, and Hungary are resisting an idea that was discussed yesterday to have a phased-in ban on oil. Gas is really off the table for now. The EU is too dependent, but just oil is a possibility. Now, I've heard that even once this fifth package of sanctions is adopted today, they're going to continue discussions on oil, and we could get an agreement on that next week. Meanwhile, today, the European Parliament is expected to pass a resolution that it's not clear if they have the votes, but it may call for an immediate ban on Russian oil and gas. It may be that that's tinkered with at the last minute to get enough votes to just be oil, but the pressure is definitely mounting for the EU to go ahead and have a ban, at least just on oil, especially given the revelations from Bucha that we've seen this week.
A busy day ahead in Brussels. So Dave, our correspondent in Brussels, Dave Keating, thanks so much for joining us.